Welcome and hello. I just got this Garrard 0100 in for service, and it's kind of very timely because I usually when I service these guys, I update the spindle bearing with my bearing that I sell on eBay. I've sold a bunch of these kits, probably now over 500. And many for the 0100. There's even a picture of how to install this on my eBay website. But I recently had a gentleman from Parker, Colorado leave negative feedback without even contacting me because he said the bearing didn't work, which is not true. So this is why I'm going to do a video of how to put this bearing in there, replace the old bearing. This is much more this is much better bearing. It's got multiple races, multiple bearings. It's also got a race. It is actually less friction when greased correctly and eliminates rumble. We're not going to do a video on the whole thing. Plenty of people have done that, but I am going to show you how to replace this bearing correctly so that in future, the gentleman from Colorado can do it himself. All right, stay tuned. Okay, we've got it out of its beautiful wood plinth, and I thought I'd just turn it on so we could hear what I'm talking about. If you can listen very, very closely. Now, if you can hear that, that's a little bit of bearing rumble. Now, at the same time, who knows when that thing was last lubed? But we're going to get rid of that, and so it doesn't transfer to that. All right. Alrighty then. First thing we're going to do is we're going to take this cap off here. It's very gently with the screwdriver, and hopefully your rubber's good, so to speak. You can get this guy off just like that, and off it pops. And then you're going to see a clip. I'll probably zoom in for you, but there's a clip right there. There we go. This clip right here, and the best way to do this is just literally with the screwdriver, just, if you can, pop it off and move that around as you do. There you go. That's the clip that also holds the record spindle in place. Pop that on there, and then we just lift off. Put that to one side, and there we have it. So there's the bearing, the original bearing, and it's trapped by the cycle cam. Most other changes of this era, you could actually just pop the bearing out, but for some reason, Garrards are always trapped. It's probably a good thing, keeps people out of there. I've already been in here, and I did a bit of lube, and this thing was seized. I think that's one of the part of the auto changer mechanism. But yes, so now we undo these while we got the platter off before we head over to the other side. We'll get those guys off. And this one here, which is a 1132. We'll get that off, put that up there, and now we'll spin it over. Okay, so we got it spun over, and now we got to take some bits off to get this guy off, which is captive by this guy, and this all comes off together, but this has to come off as well, which also will come off with this. I know it's kind of hard to explain, but this is this slider that slides the record reject lever, so drops the next record, sorry, record drop. So yeah, so we can take this spring off, he says, over there. That can stay on there. And then, got to start removing some clips. Now, remember where these guys go. Place them kind of how they would go, but you have photographs and you always have this video as well. We'll get that off. There we go. That one there. Now, all this grease is like glue, so we're going to be cleaning this when it goes back on. This guy here. And now, before I go any further, see this lever right here, this rod? There's going to be an image of it, what it goes into, but this basically just clips off there from the plastic part. Be gentle, because you don't hold plastic to. And then he says, if you can get it up past there, it'll come off. And that attaches to the cycle cam. So we want to make sure we don't rip this up without taking that off. There'll be a picture presently, or you've already seen it on the video. More stuff coming off here, more clips. Remember where they go. Place them so you can remember how they are. And then, all being well, that might be seized. This is a little cam action right here, a little pivot point. You might have to drop some heat on that. They're usually very, very stiff and hard to come off. But that being said, this should all, we'll take that off, see right there, it's got to get cleaned. And there it is. There's the bearing, there's the cam, but while you're off, that's all got to get cleaned in there. See that old black grease stuff? And you could just see how dry that is as well. That's the actual cycle cam pivot point right there. The spindle for the cycle cam, that was just dry. But there's our bearing. We'll pop that out and we will talk about this in the next cut. Oh, and don't forget, there's a washer right there. That washer goes here, and when you try to put it back on, you're gonna have to stick it on with some grease so it stays there, because it'll fall off. It's stuck on there with the remaining crap. Anyway, yeah, so don't forget that washer. Okay, we've got all our bits up here. There's our bearing, there's our new one. And just to point out again, this black stuff was grease once. I think it was grease, because it'd be really weird to just paint that. But yeah, that was some kind of graphite grease, I think. Yeah, on there as well. But that's just rock hard. So yeah, you can understand why things weren't moving correctly. There's that washer I talked about. So I put that there, and this lever. This got to get cleaned, and there's our bad boy right there. So here's the bearing cage, and we are going to reuse this this part, because this diameter right here, if I lift this over, is perfect for the platter to sit on, if you know what I'm saying. That's a perfect fit. But what's in there is what we're going to change. And to do that, you need to pop these holders here, these little bent pressed metal tabs which hold it all in. So let's get on with that. I think the best thing to do is, you can use a screwdriver, but I just like to do that, and hopefully they won't break off. And the bearing's coming out, but to get the other one in, we're going to bend them all up very gently, like that. All right, and there you have it. And that's your bearing. That's original stock. I think there was a very, very smear of something, but it's all disintegrated or evaporated, disappeared. But yeah, so that's your bearing. It's really just plastic with some ball bearings in there. You see these a lot on Grundigs. I change them out on Grundigs as well for the real deal. I just think they're terrible, bad idea, cheap. Back in the day, plastic saved the world, didn't it? And we know it's not doing that anymore. Anyway, so we're gonna get rid of that. And then we're going to talk about this guy. So we're not lubing yet, but the race, we got to take this spacer off. So that's all that is. It's just a plastic spacer. It doesn't do anything to help sound, rumble, whatever. It's hard nylon. So that's going to come off. And then the race will go on there. The bearing, which will be filled with super lube. This is a silicone synthetic grease. It doesn't get old, it doesn't break down, stays supple. It's very, very slick. This comes with the kit. This will be filled in here. So that comes with it. And that will go on eventually like this, full of grease. But for now, we'll take this guy, we'll put the other race. There's a very, very skinny washer in there. You can take it out or leave it in, doesn't really matter. That'll go into here, he says. Why wouldn't it go in? There we go. It's a nice fit. That'll go into there. Then obviously this, full of grease, will go in this way. It'll all drop down on here like that. You could do it the other way, put the race on there. And that's there it is, that's the fit. And it's very, very nice and snug. The platter will sit on there. Maybe I can show you, see if I can put that on while we're doing it. As you can see, hopefully I've zoomed in. And we have a lovely new 11 bearing with race, with silicone grease. And I defy anybody to say that that causes rumble. It's as slick as it can get. Anyway, we'll put it back together and we will have a listen. Okay, so we're put back together. As you can see, I've done lots of cleaning, some greasing here and there. But we got a new bearing in. I'm gonna flip it over now, get it running, and we'll have a listen. Okay, she's all done. Got everything put together. Just turned her on. Whoa, look at that stroboscope. How cool is that? So let's go in for a listen. Everybody's leaning in right now. So yeah, just a faint, ever so faint of the motor turning, but no clickety-clack of bearings or anything like that. So yeah, that bearing upgrade, I think, is way better than the original. I think you can probably get a bit more speed. It's definitely smoother and no rumble being transferred to that guy. So there you go. Thanks for watching. We'll do it again.